Hey there, Todd, you there?
Hey, morning.
Hey, morning, how are you?
I'm good.
All righty. Well, why don't we get going? We got a lot of things to cover, and I know the day is ticking away. So, welcome back, everyone. This is the Cookie Code. It's our bi-weekly town hall with Todd and I and the rest of the Snickerdoodle team. In case you don't know, we're Snickerdoodle, and we're building a protocol and platform designed to help brands and consumers connect through shared data, content, and experiences. We're hosting these town halls to make sure you know what we're up to, and more importantly, to get your invaluable feedback along the way. I'm Greg, the Chief Product Officer, and joined by our CTO, Todd Chapman. So we're going to jump right in, but if you have questions at any point, just raise your hand and feel free to ask them, and we'll bring you up if you want to chat. So Todd, we've got a number of things. I'll pin this thing up, our thread up into the tweet, but why don't you kick us off? We launched a bunch of new things, including and starting with our new slideshow ads.
That's right. So we'll start this morning with one new feature that just went out last night, which is the slideshow ads. Previously, first iteration of the product, we had a single slide that a customer could put up through our frames product, which was fine. It worked very well, but there was only so much information that you could fit on a single frame, which when you're in a mobile environment, it can be hard to cram a bunch of information on it. Now, a user can upload up to 3 images. You can customize the aspect ratios depending on what kinds of images you're showing. You can do like a landscape or a square, and all of the useful rules that you could apply to a single frame ad, you can do for a multi-frame slideshow ad. So this allows you to tell a story that you couldn't do with a single frame.
Yeah, I like it. I think of it almost like a little mini product hunt, right? Because
Exactly.
when you've got a new, and I think some use cases for this that are really useful. Obviously, the increased surface area is just very good. But I think like if you've got a new feature and you're trying to like make sure folks like actually get a minute to like learn about it, or you've got a brand new product, you can kind of do a little bit of that tour. And we kind of emulated Product Hunt in thinking about the feature itself. The only constraint is that you can only do 3 images currently, and we may adjust that in the future, but right now we kept it to 3.
Exactly.
Cool. So we're going to run our first one of those shortly. I think Isaac's got one queued up for Humanity Protocol, actually. So we should be able to I think it's going to go live not too long from now. So if you don't follow the Share to Earn channel over on Farcaster, that is a great way to find our new ads, by the way. But also our website, snickerdoodle.com, has them right there on the homepage if you want to grab it and share it for yourself. The next feature on the list that we just came up with, and by the way, we do 2-week sprints here. So there's often a lot of things that happen in the course. Sometimes there's incremental releases, so you might see them earlier, but we like to take this opportunity to explain what they are. The newest thing we just put in is there's a new Farcaster sign-in option on our website as well now. And this does a couple of things. Number one, it allows we don't display the full order book on the homepage. So we have like a limited set there. So if you want to access like all of them, it's actually behind in the signed in environment. And there's a bunch of features coming that kind of, it makes it easier for us to know who you are. And so we have Farcaster sign in there to sort of like start the process of being able to attach more things to your account. And one of the features that we've released today is you can now choose your primary wallet. And so just for context, in the Farcaster ecosystem or Warpcast, and I don't know if this is a Warpcast specific thing or is it a Farcaster thing?
It's definitely a Farcaster thing.
Okay, it's a Farcaster
definitely
thing.
at the level of their protocol.
Got you. So in the Farcaster protocol, you sort of have what they call a custody wallet, which is kind of like the default wallet generated when you create your account. But then you're allowed to attach additional wallets to that to your account. Now, the challenge with having multiple wallets attached is that when app developers, et cetera, are making choices about where to send stuff, it's kind of willy-nilly, right? Like some folks take the first thing, some people take the last thing, and it doesn't leave you necessarily with a whole bunch of control about where your rewards are going to actually end up. And if anyone, I know Todd told me about this too, if anyone's ever tried to see what's in your DGen wallet, your native one, your native Farcaster wallet or your Warpcast wallet, it's a huge pain in the butt. So now when you sign up with your Farcaster account, you can actually then choose, it'll bring up a list of all your connected wallets, as well as your native wallet, your custody wallet, if you like that wallet. And you can then choose where you want the rewards that come from your ad usage to be directed. I think this is a nice, easy, simple perk. But, for me, for example, I'd love to get it into my MetaMask wallet as opposed to my DGen wallet, which, seems like a huge pain in the butt to try to even move things from.
Absolutely. I'm actually surprised that this kind of a feature hasn't popped up more in Farcaster related applications. Mm-hmm. It kind of typically seems to be an afterthought for a lot of Farcaster adjacent products. It's just they make up, well, it's going to go in the first account or it's going to go in a random account or whatever, and you got to go figure out where your digital asset ended up in. So we are explicitly letting you choose where you want it to go so that there's no surprises on that.
It's really helpful because, even when we were at the Farcaster meetup, I think you remember we were chatting to the same guy, but he was like, best practice is to only link one wallet, because otherwise you don't know what people are going to do. Right.
Exactly.
And that's not really necessarily a good way to have to go about it. I actually hope Farcaster implements in the protocol a preferred wallet setting though, because that would be equally useful.
Definitely.
So what's up next, Todd? What's next on our bucket list?
So next is improved Farcaster analytics. We launched the product with a base level of analytics where you could see at a glance, how your ads did in terms of interactions, engagements, and claims. You could also get basic time series information, like what times a day was the ad most performant or less performant in terms of those three metrics. Useful, but very simple dashboards. The analytics, this is something that we're going to work on continuously. We're never going to stop working on having more informative analytics.
It's our permanent job.
Stuff. Yeah, we have new stuff going out this week. One that we realized we really needed for ourselves in running content for our own purposes, which was it was super hard to figure out, what users on Farcaster were which accounts were engaging with our content, which accounts made it through the end and actually made the claims and got the digital asset rewards. Figuring that out was a pain. So we have easy to read tables now where you can quickly scroll through and download lists of what users actually enjoy your content. So maybe you can reach out to them on Farcaster if that makes sense for what you're doing. And then we've also got better visualizations in terms of the reach. I think a good way to put this. I like to put it as your reach. Like you have people publishing your links from our snickerdoodle.com page. They take those links and publish them from their account. So we have good visualizations now in terms of how many publishers over time are going and grabbing your link and publishing that from their account. And then, the analogous kind of visualization for audience, like how many different users are actually viewing your content during a given bucket of time. These are super useful visualizations to better understand what kind of reach your content is getting. We didn't have that before. We were collecting this information, but we hadn't visualized it yet. So between these new table visualizations where you can see who's interacting with you and some of these higher level visualizations so that you can get a kind of a glance and understand what your reach is like. These are the two big new analytics features that we've rolled out. Probably every Sprint hereafter for the foreseeable future, we'll have new analytics updates, but that's what we got for this release this week.
Nice. Yeah, it's super exciting. And yeah, I think important to point out or sort of distinguish, because of our kind of bi-directional model where everyone's a publisher, our analytics fork, there's kind of three buckets for the analytics. There's one is like basically on the ad itself, like the container performance.
Right.
And then in the Farcaster part, we have then like publisher specific analytics and then audience specific analytics, which is like the people claiming versus the people sharing. And, it's very powerful to be able to see those two things separately.
Yes.
Absolutely. So very exciting. And yes, we are definitely an analytics business end of the day. So expect some kind of new analytics almost every day or every week for the foreseeable future from us. The next thing, this is about to go live, but we put it out because we wanted to make sure you knew it was coming. But if for everyone who doesn't remember or hasn't been to one yet, we've been hosting a suite of what we call FAR IRL events in a variety of cities. We've had one in Denver, I think it was last week. Isaac, I think you had a couple. Our head of BD had a couple in New York this week, and we have about 15 or 20 more events coming up already. And I think Isaac's close to landing 12 more into the list. So, but FAR IRL has never really had a home. So soon, when you head to our website at snickerdoodle.com, you will see a link up there for FAR IRL. And what that will provide is now we'll give you a quick overview of all the events and whenever possible, link you off so that you can RSVP. Some events are like invite only, but if not, we'll put that there and indicate it for you as well. So just wanted to let everyone know that the new FAR IRL site is coming as well, so you can find all the future and upcoming events. If you are listening later and you are thinking about like maybe wanting to organize or host one, we'd love to know and we'd love to support you. So I'll definitely hit us up, shoot us a DM if that could be useful. Todd, what's up on the neck? What's next up on the list?
So we have new network support this week as well. Most of our, and by most I mean all of our ads up to this point have been on base network, and we've really been focusing on giving out this degen token that everybody's super psyched about right now. It's been a lot of fun. People really like it. But we want to offer capability on other networks for any token ultimately, and not necessarily any token, any digital asset for that matter.
Right.
So we've added this week support for Palm Network and also CeeLo Network. So these two networks are kind of OG networks. They've been around a long time, and we're fans of those communities. Both of those network communities are interested. If you go and you read their forums, what's happening over in their network forums, both are starting to get interest in developing like meme coin communities within their ecosystems. So adding support for CeeLo and Palm on our Farcaster ads product, I think would be a super useful tool to helping them develop a meme coin economy within those networks.
Yeah, I think for some context, from how we think about it and how it benefits advertisers, we use this example a lot when we were talking and planning this product, Todd. But you remember like the bonk kind of thing,
Yeah.
When Solana came out with the Solana phone, this was an interesting anecdote, but the Solana phone sold out eventually because people were buying it to get the bonk allocation, which was actually worth more than the phone itself.
Pretty hilarious.
Right. And so, when we saw that, what we realized was there's a really unique opportunity, because if you wanted to grow your audience, right, like by all you've got to do is get a hint that there's a new way to farm some of that token somewhere. and they'll send their whole army of people over to you, right?
Yeah,
So, from a pure acquisition point of view, by using tokens or changing the token that you use in your reward, it can actually help you recruit whole new ecosystems of people that maybe you aren't reaching now. And so, the reason we continue to add more chains and the reason we will continue to do that over time is that those ecosystems all represent net new users that you may want to engage with. And a lot of the commonality here that we have is we're all still interested in crypto. Maybe some folks are a little more degen than others. But I think, many folks here are supporting the ecosystem. And when targeting gets added later this year, now you'll be able to actually, regardless of the fact that they may be interested in a different token, doesn't mean that they don't share a bunch of common traits that you may be looking for.
exactly. Targeting is going to be a huge deal. I'm very excited for releasing that later on. And being able to do cross-platform targeting is also going to be super fun to play with when we get there as well.
Absolutely. So, Todd, we wanted to take a chance this week also to, we've run maybe like 10 or so ads in the last week or two.
Right.
And, a lot of folks don't get to see this data. So I wanted to give you a chance to share a little bit about just how has the network been doing and how's the performance been? And, what parts are you excited about?
Yeah. So a little context here for people. We, as of today, Friday, we essentially soft launched 3 weeks ago. And what I mean by soft launch is we didn't pay any KOLs to hype us up. We didn't do any like traditional ads on like Twitter or anything like that. We just released the product and, casted about it from our own personal accounts. That's what I mean by soft launch, as in totally organic. In 3 weeks, we've ran approximately 10 ads on Warpcast. And since 3 Fridays ago, we've gotten 500,000 interactions with our content and 19,000 claims, which comes out to just shy of 40,000 on-chain rewards in that 3-week period. So considering this was totally organic usage on the Warpcast client, I think those are pretty impressive numbers, in that this just totally got picked up organically by the Warpcast ecosystem.
Yeah, it's really interesting because in a lot of ways you hear about Warpcast kind of one of two ways, right? Like it's either like this huge emerging thing or this tiny little thing,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And I would say, for all of the customers we have run ads with already, almost all of them have been very surprised, like at the quality of the people that they're actually getting, that the retention that they're having, with these customers, or these folks that are engaging with them. And honestly, the budget was very small. I don't know if you've computed it, what the
Yeah,
total
this is
was.
the thing. You always hear about how tokens are very good at getting people to do things, right? Well, this exactly demonstrates that. We typically give 5 DGen tokens to every viewer of our ad if they complete the simple steps for the piece of content. And we haven't had to increase that. We've hit the target campaign goals for everything we've run thus far, with just a 5 DGen token budget, which comes out to something. I mean, it's like 2 cents or something like that, maybe much less. So it's 5 DGen. DGen is about 1 cent the token, so it's fluctuates. It's always less than 5 cents per person, but people are willing to go follow you, join a channel, join your Discord, whatever, however long that takes, which is usually pretty quick, but they're willing to do it for 5 DGen token. So the moral of the story is we've experienced ourselves that one of the best use cases of a token is getting people to do things that you need them to do. and we've got the data to support that.
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal, and it's great to see this behavior exist. I mean, if you were to think in the traditional world of advertising or marketing, how do I acquire, a tech forward, so probably like, middle class or higher sort of, customer, you would definitely not be paying 5 cents.
Absolutely not.
So I think, that this is a pretty phenomenal secret that we have right now. By the way, if you are interested in running an ad with us, or there's a form on our website which you can apply through. We're still doing it in a bespoke manner, for a number of reasons, but the software is usable. It's self-service actually, but we want to make sure that we partner with our early customers to learn as much as possible along the way. This is like some of the analytics questions we've had, right? Have come from literally folks saying like, who did this, or who are these people? And so just incrementally adding things is very helpful. And so we want to have that relationship early on with all of our early users. Before we wrap for today though, Todd, I guess what's next in the queue?
Right. Well, there's lots of things coming in the immediate future. Just a reminder for people, we have a company holiday next week, so we won't be building next week, but we will be back with lots of energy right after that. The next big thing coming out to look forward to is our Farcaster scheduler, and this will it's a quality of life feature for publishers. It's going to allow you to automatically subscribe to the Snickerdoodle content queue and have that publish on a recurring basis automatically from your account or from your channel. So it just kind of makes it more of a professional tool for publishers with either large followings or high value channels. It lets you get more bang for your buck out of that.
Yeah, I'm very psyched about the scheduler because I think we've already engaged with a number of large channels and creators, Farcasters, and they definitely can already see like they'd like to do this, but not have to spend a bunch of time on it.
It really it reduces the cognitive load of having to go back and forth between our site and the Warpcast application.
Yeah, absolutely. So that should be out by the time you hear from us 2 weeks from now. As Todd mentioned, yeah, we are off next week. We will still be doing our space. Isaac and I have an interview for Smart Cookies coming up on Tuesday. Just as a new show, we don't want to miss this early, building our early momentum. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. Todd, thanks for taking some time today to walk us through some of the new features. Before we head out, I don't know if anyone in the audience does have any questions. Feel free to raise your hand. I'm happy to answer them, or if you have any feedback for us, we always appreciate it. But if not, we do hope that you will have a wonderful 4th next week if you're here in the States celebrating it or abroad celebrating it. And we'll be back in the next week or two with lots more content, a whole bunch of new capabilities, and lots of news for you. So looking forward to it. Todd, have a good one. Talk to you all soon.
Happy Friday.